Now we're going to look at what it takes to add products to our catalog, that internal catalog that you pull from when you're creating proposals. Where do we get those products from? How do we find pricing, those sort of things? So you can see here I'm in DTools. I'm going to come down here to the options across the bottom, and I'm going to bring up catalog. This gives us a few options. You see products, labor, packages, add products from library, and import products. We'll talk about kind of what these are. So products, that's the product library when you're adding products to a project, whether that's a DMPS 3 4K 150 or an Extron cable, any of that, those are those products. Labor is exactly what that is. That's where we sort of build those labor numbers that we add to projects. And then packages is where we actually build the packages that are kind of pre-populated to bring into a project. For example, our standard lectern package that brings in the lectern and all of the items associated with it. We'll touch on packages and building those in a different video. What we're interested here is adding products to the library. So if there's an item we know we don't have in our library, first we can search our library. I'm going to open our Product Explorer. So this is our library that our DTools pulls from, and say I'm considering using the new Crestron MC4 control processor, which has just been released. And you can see we don't have that in our library yet. Again, this is a product that's just been released. So we want to get that product. We want to be able to add that to projects moving forward. We're going to use that add products from library option under catalog. And that's going to open a new window. And what this library is a database that DTools manages and has for us to be able to really quickly and easily pull stuff in. So I'm going to search for MC4. And you can see it pulls up products from other manufacturers too. Sometimes this happens, a lot of times it doesn't. But here we can see there's a black box product, surveillance camera, etc. So you just kind of scroll through this list and find the one that you're looking for. Here we see the MC4s from Crestron. There's an MC4 and an MC4R. The R is a residential product in this case. So we're going to grab this MC4, and what you want to do with this is come over here and click download. And you're going to see it pop up over here on your right hand side in this downloads area. Once this item is now downloaded, now you want to go in and add pricing to it. So we're going to open it just by clicking it in the downloads dialog box over there. And here it brings you in and you can see all of the information about it. So you can see it brought in a description, and under price you can see it brought in the MSRP, but this is data that we have to create. What do we estimate this item is going to cost for a project versus what has it been quoted for in the past for a project. So primarily what we're interested in is the estimated cost, and where we're going to get this is from Crestron. So I'm going to bring up Crestron's website. I'm logged in, so I'm going to be able to see A+ pricing for items when I pull them up. I'm going to start typing MC4 and find that item. So here again, because I'm logged in, I can see A+ pricing for this item is $1,000 while the MSRP is $1,600. So I'm just going to switch back over here and punch 1,000 into my estimated pricing, my tab over, and it should fill that across to the unit cost with tax and unit price. Obviously we don't have tax, we don't have margin or markup, so all those items stay zero. And so we just have this $1,000 cost across the board for our estimated price. Now we want to save that. And at this point we can close this window. If you were adding more products, you would just search them here and add them, and do that same process again as far as clicking the item in the downloads and entering the price. So now if we search for MC4, we find that item in our library. So here it is. And we can see the price that we just added is on there. So the product is now available for us to add to any of our projects as we build them. Now for pricing, where we find that estimated pricing is oftentimes from Crestron, for example. It's just like I showed you, it's on their webpage. For other manufacturers, Extron, for example, you should have an account with them, but it's tied to us so that they know you're an education customer, and there's an education line listed for pricing with them when you're looking at products. Epson, same way, they have a price sheet that they publish every quarter for what they call Brighter Futures pricing, which is their education customer pricing. Another good source that I look at pricing is SCW. SCW is a state contract provider, and that's just scw.com. Please make sure that you have an account set up with them. If you don't, get with me and I will get us in touch with the correct person there and make sure that you have an account where you can go in and see pricing. So here I'm just going to log in. I've got my account details saved, so I'm going to log into my account. SCW is a good source for pricing on all sorts of things: displays, chief products, not necessarily Crestron, Extron, those sort of items. They're pretty much everything. So for example, if I wanted to see have a good estimated cost for an LTM1U, I'm going to type that in, and here it kind of pulls up and finds it. And so here's their cost for an LTM1U. So if this is one state contract provider's cost, any of our other vendors should be fairly close in cost. So that's a good base number to put in there. Now typically I'll round up, say it's 195, I'll round up to 196 or even 200 bucks even for that estimated price. Again, our estimated price is that, it's an estimate, and what we want that number to be when we give it to a customer as a proposal is essentially a guaranteed maximum price, or a GMP, so that they know, all right, this is the most my project may cost. It'll likely come in less than that. That's why that's part of why we pad it with that contingency dollars, so that if there's price changes, etc., we can absorb those changes. So that's a quick and dirty on how to add products to our catalog. Again, make sure that you have accounts with these various vendors so that you can log in and see pricing, so that it makes it really easy to start adding those things to the catalog.